When you've had days full of sorrow, weeping, and endless trials, only God truly knows the complete story behind the pain. There is a sacred moment at almost every funeral, even the complicated ones, even the painful and broken ones, where people in the room choose to set their grievances aside. Not forever, but at least for that 1 hour. Just long enough to honor the person who has passed and to hold space for those who are still living and grieving. That is what a funeral is meant to be. That is what a memorial service is supposed to represent. A time of dignity, respect, and unity in the face of loss. But what happened at Joni Lamb's memorial service on May 18th, 2026, was not that. Instead of unity and healing, it became another chapter in a painful family and ministry conflict that has been playing out in public for a long time. Before we go any further, here is a clear and important disclaimer. Everything shared in this script is based only on publicly verifiable sources. This includes the Roy Report's investigative journalism, the Fort Worth Report, KER News, the Christian Post, churchleaders.com, the published audio recording and notes from the July 2023 Daystar meeting with Jimmy Evans, Jonathan Lamb, and Susie Lamb, official public statements made by all involved parties, and of course, the Bible itself. We will clearly label allegations as allegations. We will not speculate. We will simply let the documented facts speak for themselves, because in this case, the documented record already says more than enough. Joni Lamb, co-founder and president of Daystar Television Network, passed away on May 7th, 2026, at the age of 65. Daystar confirmed her death that same morning, saying she had graduated to heaven. Multiple credible news outlets, including CBS News and the Hindustan Times, reported that she died due to complications from metastatic bone cancer, made worse by a recent back injury. Daystar itself did not officially confirm the exact cause in their statement. With Joni's passing, the attention quickly turned to how her family, her ministry, and the wider Christian media world would respond. The public memorial service was held 10 days later, on May 18th, 2026, at Gateway Church's Southlake, Texas campus. Many people noted the choice of venue because Gateway Church was founded by Robert Morris, who in October 2025 pleaded guilty to multiple counts of child sexual abuse. That background added another layer of complexity to an already heavy day. Despite everything, hundreds of people still came to honor Joni Lamb, who had become one of the most recognizable faces in Christian broadcasting. Many tributes that day were genuinely moving and heartfelt. President Donald Trump sent a recorded message praising Joni as strong and courageous, someone who was never afraid to stand for truth and the Word of God. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu thanked her for building bridges between Christians and Israel. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. shared how Joni and Marcus had given him a platform when other doors were closed. Joel Osteen, Paula White Cain, and others also paid tribute. Joni's daughters, Rebecca Lamb Weiss and Rachel Lamb Brown, spoke emotionally about their mother's faith, love, and legacy. For many, it was a fitting celebration of a woman who helped build a network that Daystar claims reaches over 2.3 billion homes worldwide, winning multiple major awards under her leadership. But behind the beautiful tributes, there was another reality unfolding in that same room. Jonathan Lamb, Joni's eldest son and former vice president of Daystar, the same son Marcus Lamb had publicly named as his intended successor, was present at the service. However, according to detailed reporting by the Roy Report, he was treated very differently from the rest of the family. He and his wife Susie were seated in the far right corner of the front row, partially blocked by a camera. They were kept separated from the rest of the Lamb family. None of his sisters acknowledged him when they spoke. Not once was his name mentioned by them. The only person who said Jonathan's name during the entire service was President Trump. Even more painful, Jonathan was the only immediate family member not invited to speak. And according to multiple sources, he was not even invited to attend his own mother's burial service the next day. A son had to bury his mother without being welcomed at the graveside. Jonathan and Susie's close friends, Kenyon and Katie Coleman, witnessed everything. When they tried to sit with Jonathan and Susie, they were told they could not and were moved to another section. Later, during Jentezen Franklin's eulogy, the Colemans felt it was so passive-aggressive that they walked out. Security followed them out of the building. Katie Coleman later wrote on Instagram, "I've never seen a man and his family more disrespected than what I witnessed today in the house of God." Jentezen Franklin, senior pastor of Free Chapel, began by graciously acknowledging all three children, including Jonathan. But what followed became highly controversial. He delivered a strong defense of Joni Lamb, indirectly addressing her critics, widely understood to be Jonathan and Susie. He called criticism the smallest size, claimed divine direction to preach this message at the funeral, and used the story of the woman with the alabaster box in Mark 14 to compare Joni with someone being wrongly criticized for her devotion. Many listeners felt this comparison was deeply unfair because the serious public concerns raised were not about simple criticism of ministry work, but about alleged serious issues, including financial handling and the handling of child abuse allegations within the family. The sermon revived old tensions and was later heavily promoted by Daystar through 8 separate video clips on their YouTube channel. One day after the memorial, Jonathan Lamb posted a deeply gracious message remembering his mother's love, her prayers, her competitive spirit in games like Scrabble and Tetris, and how she helped him move into his college dorm. Even after everything he has reportedly gone through, pay cuts, surveillance, job loss, and public exclusion, he chose honor and kindness in his words. This entire situation raises important and uncomfortable questions for the wider church. How do we handle leadership accountability? How do we protect the vulnerable while still honoring those who have served? And can a ministry that claims to reach billions truly reflect the heart of Christ if family members are publicly shamed and excluded during moments of grief? These are not small questions. They go to the heart of what it means to be a healthy ministry rather than just a successful business. If this matters to you, please share this with others who need to hear it. The church grows stronger when it is willing to face hard truths with honesty, humility, and biblical accountability.